Expectations are invisible, but their weight is undeniable. From the moment we're born, the world begins layering them on. Perform well, behave, succeed, fit in, conform. Parents, teachers, friends, society. All of them contributing to an invisible load we carry without choice. At first, it feels like guidance, but over time, guidance can become suffocation. Expectations are not just suggestions. They become metrics for our worth. And when we fail to meet them, the weight presses harder, reminding us how far we've fallen, how far we still must climb. The cruelest expectations are often our own. We absorb society's standards, internalize them, and then turn them inward. We demand perfection, consistency, and immediate success on our own terms. Every single misstep becomes a failure. Every setback feels like confirmation that we're inadequate. The burden multiplies because it's no longer just outside pressure, it's self-inflicted. And yet, we cling to these expectations like lifelines, believing they define who we are. They don't. They define who we're afraid of being. Expectations rarely exist in isolation. They come with comparisons. We look at peers, celebrities, strangers on social media, and measure ourselves against curated realities. They did this by 25. Why not me? She's thriving. I'm stagnant. Expectations feed on comparison, and comparison feeds on envy, anxiety, and guilt. We forget that every life is a different story. We measure our beginning against someone else's highlight reel and wonder why we're failing. The trap is universal but invisible. We think we're racing, but we're just weighing ourselves against a phantom, collapsing under a pressure that isn't even ours alone. Families mean well. Societies mean well. At their core, these structures are born from a desire for safety and continuity. They are frameworks built on generations of experience, designed to protect us, to provide a blueprint for what they define as a good, stable life. This isn't malice. It's a form of love, a collective effort to ensure the tribe not only survives, but thrives. They set standards to guide us, to push us toward what they perceive as survival and success. These are the well-trodden paths, the stable career, the right partner, the 2.5 kids, the house with the white picket fence. It's a checklist for a life deemed successful, a formula tested and approved by the majority. Follow the rules and you'll be safe. You'll belong. But well-meaning, pressure still crushes. The safety of the blueprint becomes a cage for those who don't fit the design. The guidance feels less like a map and more like a set of walls closing in, suffocating the parts of us that dare to be different. A child who wants to explore art is told to pursue math because art is a hobby, not a career. The message is clear. Your passion is not practical. Your dreams are not valid unless they can be quantified on a spreadsheet. A teen who struggles socially is told to be more like your cousin, the outgoing, popular one. This comparison isn't meant to harm. It's a clumsy attempt to offer a role model. But what it teaches is that your inherent nature is a flaw that needs fixing. Societal norms then amplify this, dictating careers, relationships, even the very definition of happiness, leaving little space for deviation. We are sold a singular image of success, plastered on billboards, and embedded in every movie plot. This constant messaging normalizes one way of life and subtly demonizes all others. Every expectation becomes a chain, linking us to paths we might not have chosen. We internalize the voices of parents, teachers, and culture until they echo louder than our own intuition. We grow up measuring our worth by other people's rules, forgetting to even ask what we actually want. Our own desires become a faint, distant whisper, easily drowned out by the chorus of shoulds and supposed toes. This is how we lose ourselves, not in one dramatic moment, but piece by piece, with every concession to a life that was never truly ours. The pressure isn't just emotional, it's physical. Stress tightens muscles, clouds thinking, keeps sleep shallow. Expectations occupy the mind like a relentless drone, never pausing, never quiet. Every decision becomes a calculation. Will this meet the standard? Will this reflect poorly? Will this disappoint someone? Life is no longer lived, it's strategized. The more you try to meet expectations, the more they grow. There's no finish line because as soon as one is satisfied, another emerges. The weight is invisible, but oppressive, a constant reminder that you're never enough. Expectations warp connections too. We demand our partners meet unspoken ideals. We expect friends to act like mirrors, affirming our worth. We expect colleagues to conform to our sense of fairness. And when they don't, we feel betrayed, angry, or alone. The problem isn't just that others fail us, it's that we expect them to carry what we cannot. We try to outsource control over our feelings. And every unmet expectation becomes evidence of personal failure, when in truth it's a reflection of the impossible standards we carry in our own hearts. Releasing expectations is terrifying. It feels like losing control, admitting imperfection, surrendering to uncertainty. And yet, the moment we let go, relief floods in. Letting go doesn't mean laziness or apathy. It means freeing ourselves from invisible shackles. It means living in the present rather than bowing to a future dictated by others. Fear clings to expectation because it gives the illusion of predictability, but in reality, it's nothing more than a cage. The courage lies not in meeting every standard, but in stepping outside them entirely. We are born into a world that hands us a script, a pre-written definition of success. It's a heavy cloak woven from societal pressures, familial expectations, and the curated perfection we see online. To escape the crushing weight of these expectations, we must first have the courage to put the script down. We must redefine success entirely on our own terms. This isn't an act of rebellion for its own sake. It's an act of profound self-preservation. It's about reclaiming your narrative from a world that tries to write it for you. So forget climbing ladders someone else built, ladders that lead to rooms you have no desire to enter. Forget chasing promotions, titles, and milestones that don't resonate with your soul. These are the empty calories of achievement. They might fill a space, but they will never truly nourish you. The relentless climb toward a goal that isn't yours is a fast track to burnout, a quiet erosion of the spirit. It's the feeling of moving faster and faster, only to realize you're on a treadmill facing a wall. True success is subjective, a mosaic you assemble piece by piece. It's the quiet victory of personal growth, mastering a skill not for a resume, but for the sheer joy of it. It's the deep fulfillment of creating something that is authentically yours. It's the strength found in genuine connection, in moments of shared vulnerability. It's the electric spark of curiosity that pulls you toward the unknown. And it's the unwavering compass of integrity, making choices that honor your values, even when no one is watching. This kind of success is measured not by the volume of others' applause, but by the quiet hum of inner alignment. And that alignment doesn't come easily. It demands that you become a student of your own silence. It requires listening to the faint whispers of your intuition, learning to distinguish its voice from the deafening noise of external judgment and your own inner critic. It means daring to choose paths that others might not understand, or even approve of. This is the messy, uncomfortable, and essential work of self-discovery. But the liberation you find on the other side is worth every ounce of effort. It is the difference between existing and truly living. When you stop chasing the hollow shadows of what others want for you, you finally begin to inhabit the full substance of who you are. You trade a life of performance for a life of presence. You stop asking for permission to be yourself and start building a world where you belong. Saying no is a radical act. Every no removes weight, trims chains, clears space. Saying no to a career path, a relationship, a social expectation, a toxic habit. Each refusal chips away at the pile of demands on your life. People may criticize, judge, or push back. That's okay. Expectations are societal. Freedom is personal. Choosing no is choosing yourself. It's the small rebellion that reminds you who you are beneath the weight, beneath the rules, beneath the pressures. And no is rarely the end. It's the beginning of clarity. Expectations will never fully disappear. They are an invisible architecture built around us from the moment we are born. They are in the hopeful eyes of our family, whispering dreams that may not be our own. They are woven into the fabric of society, dictating what success, beauty, and happiness should look like. They scream from our screens, through curated media, and the highlight reels of our peers, creating a relentless standard of comparison. But perhaps the most insidious expectations are the ones that echo from within, the voice of our inner critic, the ghost of past failures, the self-imposed rules we believe will keep us safe or make us worthy. These internal pressures can be the heaviest chains of all because we are both the prisoner and the guard. But their weight can be managed. This isn't about waging a war against all expectations. It's about becoming a discerning curator of your own life. We can choose which expectations to honor, the ones that align with our core values and genuinely help us grow. We can choose which to politely decline and ignore, the ones that drain our energy and pull us away from our authentic path. And most powerfully, we can choose which to transform. We can take an external pressure to succeed and redefine what success means to us, turning a burden into a self-directed mission. This is the art of personal alchemy. Because life isn't about meeting everyone else's standards. It's not a checklist to be completed for external validation. Life is about carving out sacred space for yourself. Space to breathe when the world feels suffocating. Space to fail, not as a catastrophe, but as a necessary part of the curriculum of existence. Space to grow, messily and imperfectly, at your own pace. And space to feel the entire spectrum of human emotion without judgment, from soaring joy to profound sorrow. The ultimate liberation isn't in finding a mythical world free of expectation. It's in reclaiming the authority to be the final arbiter of your own life. It's the quiet, internal shift from asking, "What do they want from me?" to declaring, "What do I require of myself?" This is your sovereignty. So carry your life the way you want, not the way the world prescribes. The weight of external judgment is heavy, but the choice to lift your own purpose is heavier still, for it comes with the full responsibility of your own path. But the freedom you find on the other side of that choice, it is vast, profound, and utterly unmatched. It is the freedom to simply be. If you agree, ink, rage, repeat, share, like, and subscribe. See you next time.